Well, as far away from Argentina, some fans are saying when we lose against Ipswich this weekend, Manning will have to go. Absolutely dreadful, no intention to win, awful subs, terrible style. He's just not the man for us. We are previewing the Old Firm derby. Ipswich have not won this fixture for nearly 15, going on 16 years. However, as a Norwich fan, is this the worst feeling of nerves that you've had before a derby in many, many years? We've got Matty and Killian to give their views on it. Plus, we're looking at fixture computer unfairness and should the playoffs drop down to 8th place? We're asking our panel that. We've also got some Ipswich fans standing by as well to give their views on what should be a pulsating derby this weekend. And in the Norwich City A to Z of all time, who do you put at the letter A? We've asked AI for their suggestion, and this fella popped up straight away. We'll get Matty and Killian's reaction to that a little bit later on. But yes, Matty, the Old Farm derby is back this weekend. We talk a little bit about Stoke in a second, but is this as worried as you've been heading into one of these derbies?
I mean, if it was a home game, which might sound ridiculous, I would be a lot more worried. Our away form is decent. Killian and I had the, displeasure of being there at the weekend for Stoke, and it wasn't fantastic, but we are unbeaten away. So yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm slightly more thankful that it's weirdly at Portman Road than Carrow Road.
Killian, the Ipswich fans that are on Twitter are saying this is it. This Sunday is when they finally do one over you. Can you, based on how both are playing, do you have the same feeling?
They've been saying that for a long time. It's like champagne in a bottle. They've been shaking for a long, long time, and the cork they keep having to put it back in again. I don't know. I mean, obviously they would have to be favourites. But we've been living in their heads now for a long, long time, and I still think we are. And I think their form has been a bit iffy. I think they've got the talent, but they haven't really managed to get it together either. So I think Todd Cantwell was giving them a taste of what playing against Norwich was last week against Blackburn. So when the rain saved them, so I don't know.
Right, let's bring in some tractor boys then, shall we, and get their views on what should be a very interesting fixture this weekend. Welcome from, of course, where the town walk. We have Ian and of course Luke as well. Now behave yourself, you two.
I'll try.
You're in good company. Ian, as an Ipswich fan, are you looking across at how Norwich are doing and rubbing your hands with expectation that this is going to be the end to that 15 years of hurt?
I think we said that every year. I think every year we've had an argument for why we'll beat them that season, and then it doesn't happen. Whether it be a fluky goal off a shin, whether it be, I don't know, we mustn't make it one of those mental blocks, but it's very quickly become this kind of, barrier to Ipswich kind of lifting their heads up and saying, actually we're the pride of Anglian. Until we can actually get maybe a couple of wins against Norwich, we'll have to really kind of eat a bit of humble pie, I guess. But yeah, I think this season could be it. This could be the time where we actually bury that horrible record and come away with a home win, at least for now.
Luke, can you even enjoy these games as a fan? I mean, what's it like as a home fan? These at Portman Road when Norwich visit?
I haven't got many good memories, I must admit, of the derby game of play. Obviously, it's been a long time since we've managed to get one over on them. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. It has been obviously nervous the last few times we played them, but I think we're in a position now where I think we feel confident. What Killian was talking about with will we popping champagne? I like to think we will be come the end of the game on Sunday.
Matty, we've got a player on the pitch here who's now played for both sides. He's not going to get a very warm reception from the away end, I would imagine. No,
I mean it's ridiculous, isn't it? To business wise, it's good, but to sell to your nearest and closest rivals is just it's not a done thing, is it? And Andy Marshall, but worse really. Very strange. Great bit of business from the club. We've somehow got that amount of money for him on a short-term contract that he had left with us. But just not a done thing. So yeah, I hope he's not celebrating their first win in 16 years on Sunday for sure.
And then just talk us through kind of the dislike or the hatred. I mean, we spoke to Pompey and Southampton fans recently, Killian, who just hate each other, just absolutely despise each other because they haven't played each other for so long. What's it like with Norwich and Ipswich? Some people look at this derby and go, well, look, they're so many miles apart. It's not really, it's a derby. It's a rivalry, but, the distance between the two cities is too far. Is it? How do you look at it? Do you have a genuine hatred for these two?
Yeah, I think, I'm lucky, as you know, Mark, I live in Ireland, so I'm sort of slightly removed from it day to day. But I think across the borders, in places like Lowestoft and there's massive rivalry, probably in Norwich and in Ipswich. Life goes on most of the year, apart from maybe twice when we do play each other, barring maybe a cup match here and there or a playoff, which again we've done well in. But I do think there is. We always look to see the result, and you hear fans cheering no matter where we're playing when Ipswich are losing. So it is real rivalry, no question.
Ian, haven't you got family or?
Yeah, my daughter-in-law is a Norwich fan, and all her family are Norwich fans as well. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting household.
God bless her.
And Luke, for you, how does the hatred? Is it rivalry? Or is it a pure unbridled hatred for Norwich?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's actually bigger than club v club. It's county v county. It's Suffolk versus Norfolk. It is big. It is big. It's I get what people mean because obviously we are so far apart on the map. But no, it doesn't feel like that in terms of football. It's a big game, and I was brought up with it being a big game. So yeah.
Okay.
Mark, if you want an example, I remember coming out of Portman Road the last time we played, and there was 2 police dog vans right outside, one from Norfolk and one from Suffolk, and even the dogs were going at each other.
There it is. Matty, for an away fan, then, what's this fixture like then, as a Norwich fan walking into Portman Road? You're muted, my friend, sorry.
That's always a bonus, isn't it, when you come off mute? Yeah, it's one of them where you're walking up the steps, and it is that even the drinks beforehand, they don't wash the same. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them where you're thinking an early pint of Guinness, and it's always a Sunday or a Saturday before or around noon. So yeah, it's a few early pints, and it's a few early nervy pints for sure. So yeah, I don't think I ever look forward to it. It's almost Middlesbrough levels for me in terms of a lot not looking forward to it. But obviously this means a lot more to all of our fans. So yeah, it's one of them. I know this might sound really pessimistic, but you just want to get through unscathed. But yeah, once your team come out, once you start singing a few songs, you're like, we'll do this. Especially with the history that we've got. So I'm sure on the train on Sunday morning I'll be nervous, and then after a couple of pints and after kick-off I'll be giving it the big and saying we're going to win. But yeah, it's not the most pleasurable of experiences. I'll be frank with you.
Okay, well, the neutral of us is going to enjoy it. Ian, we've spoken to a few teams obviously that have played Ipswich so far. Derby, I remember not being that impressed with Ipswich. Preston, we spoke to, weren't that impressed with Ipswich when you went to Deepdale. Are you starting to fire now your season? Are you playing good football again?
We bought all the parts we needed to build a sports car like a Ferrari, but we just hadn't had the opportunity to take it out on the track day. We did that at home to Sheffield United. That was pretty good. Took it out in the wet. Oh, we almost lost that at the corner in the wet, but yeah, we get another chance of that one. So yeah, I think that it's been one of these projects where we had to do a fairly large reboot of the team. We did a lot of business during that transfer window. We would have loved to have done it in June, which we didn't have the opportunity. So late arrivals has meant, we haven't had the opportunity to get some of the play. I think half of our transfers didn't do the pre-season with us. So that's been a bit of an issue. And those players in question have suddenly got their fitness levels up to where they need to be. They're finding themselves in the team. They're understanding how the team has changed subtly with some of the responsibilities in the team. And I think even though it was only 2-1 against Portsmouth, we were sat, cruising in third gear on that game, really. We could have put the foot down if we wanted to. So, yeah, I think that when we get to, let's get through Bristol on Tuesday and ready for Norwich. I think on Norwich, It's probably the first game we're going to have when we are at our full strength and full on top speed as well. So let's see how that goes. It's going to be an interesting clash.
Okay, right. Let's get some score predictions then. Luke, you can take it for the Blue Boys.
Well, I want to say a Nunes hat trick, 3-1 Town, but maybe not. We'll go with Nunes grabbing a goal, but I am going to go with 3-1 to Town. I feel confident. I think it's our time to right the wrongs of the past, and we'll come away with 3 points.
Okay, Killian.
I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go with Liam Gibbs to score, given that 3 with Ipswich is also quite strong. So.
Brilliant. Right, let us know in the comments whether you agree. Right, thank you for behaving yourself, you two. This could have gone horribly wrong. But yeah, I think even Norwich fans watching this will agree that even for Ipswich fans, you're not too bad. So thanks, Luke. Thank you, Ian. I can't wish you all the best, but yeah, enjoy the game.
Yeah.
So,
we look to see you all down the Portman Road, guys.
Yeah.
Good chance.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Ian. All the best to you. Right. Okay. Let's chat Stoke, shall we, a little bit then. Our Stoke fans, Killian, said that was the worst Norwich side that they've seen in many, many years. Are they right?
No, I wouldn't say that. If that's their case, they're obviously not going to end up very far in the league, if that's their belief. It's funny, I was chatting very briefly to Mark Robbins before the game. Now, I was tempted to wind him up about the fact that he'd never beaten Norwich as a manager, but I thought that would just tempt fate a little bit to save it for Ipswich next week. So no, I think we were lucky to come away with a point, no question. But again, it is the resilience we've shown at away matches.
Yeah. I'm sorry to keep coming back to the same point, Matty, but Josh says quite simply, terrible football. You pay your money, you travel your distances, you look forward to the games, you spend time with your friends, and then you sit down and watch the football, and it's turgid, isn't it?
It's not brilliant. It's a bit. I heard lads before we even got our tickets checked yesterday said it was worse than Wagner, worse than Dean Smith. I'm not sure I'd go so far as to say it was worse than Dean Smith. But we mustn't forget that he was sacked when he was 6th in the league. It's not brilliant. I said in the boozer before the game yesterday, I don't feel like we have a particular style of play. Under Hoff Torp, you could kind of see that we were building something. Under Manning, it does feel like we go out to not lose a game, which is a little bit Chris Hughton. Just to bring that name back to the Norwich City party. So yeah, it's not fantastic. I won't lie. I can't dress it up any other way. It's not inspiring football.
What's going on at half time, Killian? Because once again, Tyler here says conceded at the start of the second half again. Yeah.
I think it might have been a minute later this time.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, we might be getting to 70 or 80 minutes.
What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen this over the last couple of seasons with Norwich. We seem to take our foot off the gas at half time. And I don't know if it's a mental side of things or what happens, but this is not the first season we've seen this. Starting pretty well and sort of drifting away. So I'm not sure what it is. It can't be fitness at halftime. If it was late in the game, you could say maybe they're not match fit enough, but it has to be a mental thing.
Okay. Ryan Mason visits this weekend, Matty, with West Brom. I was recording this before that midweek game. What's going to happen if he loses 5 home games? Obviously, including the cup in a row. Does he even get to Portman Road? Is there any chance that we get Jack Wilshere back just for the weekend?
for that trusty 0-0 draw away.
Yeah.
No, he definitely gets to Portman Road. I think it's a strange one, isn't it? Because I think, unless I'm very much mistaken, Killian, he signed a 3-year deal. I think Manning. So what? I mean, it's again. This was heard. I was obviously at the Stoke game at the weekend. Heard people shouting, "Manning sorted out," and "We want Manning out." And I'm like, lads, like, what we're going to do? Are we going to swap managers every 10, 20 games? It's ridiculous. So we have got to give him till Christmas. However, to be a hypocrite on my own point, if we lose against West Brom, which there's a decent possibility. I've put my thumb there. There's a possibility that we do, and then we lose to Ipswich. I think he's in trouble. I really do think he's in real trouble. Certainly with the fans, maybe not from the upper echelons of Norwich City, where Zoe Webber, Ben Napper, and the like are concerned, and maybe the Atanasios. But in terms of the fans and that sentiment, if we lose against West Brom and we lose against Ipswich, then he's in bother.
Okay. Just one little bits and pieces. The Ipswich fans mentioned that the game was cancelled was being replayed against Blackburn. Norwich, Killian, were on the panel to decide what happened. They abstained from voting on that replay decision. What we understand. Can you support that? I mean, the fact that they absolved themselves of impartiality, obviously, because it involves Ipswich, or do you think that's disgraceful?
Yeah, no, I think, in fairness, I mean, I know Zoe, she's very ethical and we'll all try and do the right thing. And I do think it was probably the right thing to do under the circumstances. Because no matter, you're in a lose-lose situation there, no matter what decision you make as a Norwich executive, you'll be told it was either your own fans would be up against or the Ipswich fans. So it's probably the sensible thing to do.
I'm going to jump in and say bollocks to them, because if it was the other way around, they wouldn't do it to us. And if your own fans, you've got to get your own fans on side. They're always going to slag you off, Ipswich fans. So you might as well have your own fans on your case rather than on your back. So I'm going to play devil's advocate there, Killian, and say they should have voted and said, "Nah, you're not having the replay. Balls to you." But
give Blackburn the 3 points, given that they were a man up and
78 minutes or whatever, wasn't it? And they were down to 10 men. Nah, I'm not having that. Spineless.
Okay.
But Killian was very diplomatically answered.
Right. The EFL have been busy this week as well, because they've also announced this May that the Championship playoffs may go down to 8 teams in the future. So quickly, is this good for football or not?
No. I listen, right? I love the playoffs, and I have quite a few mates who are fans of Premier League clubs, and they're like, "Oh, the playoffs is rubbish. Why does the playoffs is this?" And I'm like, "The playoffs is fantastic. I love the playoffs, but it shouldn't be top 8. It should be." I mean, how many times? I think there's probably some decent data on the teams that finished 6th that have gone up that haven't stayed up. So, no, not for me. I think it's too much. I think, do you know what it is? I think it's the AFL looking at TV revenue, money, and trying to fit an extra, few games in. What's going to happen? What they're going to do? Quarterfinals, semi-finals? No, I'm not having it. It should be top 6, and that's it.
Yeah, well, imagine the quality going up in 8th, can't you? If Millwall finished 23 points behind 3rd place last season, imagine if they'd gone up instead of Sunderland. It's just.
And look how well Sunderland have started as well, by the way.
So, yeah.
I've done it again. I didn't mean to put my thumbs.
Brilliant. Right, a little bit of fun then, because we need to keep it very light-hearted on here as much as we possibly can with all that's going on with the terrible football we're watching. We're starting the A to Z of Norwich City, the history of Norwich City. But here's the catch: you can only have one entry per letter of the alphabet, starting from A, going all the way through to Z. So we asked AI who should be in there for A. Killian is I don't know, you'd be surprised or not to know that. It threw up Neil Adams, manager player as well. So can you beat Neil Adams for an entry into the A to Z of Norwich for the letter A? And please, in the chat, type me.
I'd go maybe bigger than Norwich City. Just go Norwich and go Alan Partridge. Who put Norwich on the map?
Brilliant.
That's great.
Oh my gosh! Right, Matty.
Yeah, Neil Adams is a bit of a, because another thing about Neil Adams, just to keep this very short, but he was on core comms for Radio Norfolk for a long time, and when the season we went up, we drew against Derby 3-3, and like it still gives me goosebumps now that Neil Adams is on core comms with Chris Gorman. He's like, the time's up, the place has gone bananas, and all Norwich fans will know what I'm on about, and so that passion. Obviously, as a head coach, didn't quite do it, but he is a bit of a cult hero. I'd also throw Max Aarons into there, which I know is a very recent bias. But the reason that I mention him it's because the way that he left the club, he was a professional to the end. He always gave his 100%. He never looked like he was sort of shying away from it. So from that perspective, in terms of players we gave their all for the club, I'd also give an honourable mention to Max Aarons. But yeah, Hal O'Neill on Canary Call is probably still number one for me.
Agree, Killian?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good
We'll
shows.
agree with AI for this week.
Absolutely.
Partridge is good though. Partridge is
Yeah. We'll have to wait. We'll bring him for P. You can bring him for P. As soon as on it. Right, in the comments, have they missed any of the obvious ones?
Instead of Pookie, Mark, is it?
No, we're not Partridge over Pookie, no.
Right, letter B next week then. Let us know in the comments who should be in there for letter B. Yeah, it's just a little bit of fun as well. Thank you, of course, so much for watching and subbing. If you haven't yet subbed to the channel, 20 minutes of Norwich Chat, you can fit it into your daily routine. Weekly routine. Sorry, that'd be absolutely amazing. Tom will be back next week as well. And if you fancy coming on and giving Matty and Killian some thoughts as well, type your name and an email address into the comments and we'll get back to you. And you can be here live, recording next week, talking to these two and telling them whether they're right or they're wrong. Brilliant, you two. I'd say enjoy the Old Farm Derby. I'm not sure you will. In all honesty.
Take a point now, Mark. Take a point.
Okay, right. 0-0. Yeah. Right. See you next week after that game. All the best.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Matty. See you.